Hey guys, this is Hedafan about, and for this review, just go into the full settings and Wi-Fi setup, and the rest of the part that were left out in my first review. This is the part where I'll be telling you about all the settings of this camera, which was not necessary for camera review, talking about the quality and design and all that. That is the most important part. That was the most important part of the review, and this is just for those who are really interested into to see what setting this camera has. So if you have watched that video, then you can definitely make decisions based on just that video. But if you really want to look into the settings, then this is the video for you. And let's head right in and start talking about the menu system. Here we have, in the settings, we have image mode, where you can select the megapixels and you could set as you want. And here we have 16, 8, 4, 12, 2, and so on and so forth. So let's get back, and then we have white balance, that is set to auto, but you could select it based on your requirements. Then we have metering option. Then we have continuous shot. You can take shots with 9 fps per second. That's a different story. It's for taking continuous shots, of course. Then we have ISO sensitivity. Here it has full control in our hands, and you can just select whatever you want in ISO sensitivity. You could have a fixed auto range in auto mode, or then you can have a 125 to 1600, and after 1600, 3200 and 6400 are available only for low light situations, and it's available only for auto mode. But the rest of the ISOs are selectable, and the ISO and the photos with ISO 400 and 600 turn out really well at night time, as I have already told in that my previous review. ISO 1600, 3200 and 6400 are only available at night when there is low light. In fact, you need a time of evening when there is low light, those ISO settings are available, but they are nice images. Use of flash reduces the amount of ISO sensitivity. Then we have area of focus mode. You can select face priority, manual, central, subject tracking, and target finding AF. If you say you're not taking the photo of a face or something, then you will require to find the subject, and for that purpose you have to go for select manually. Like you are taking a photo of a flower and the camera does not recognize that, you have to use manual center. So what you have to actually do is that when you are focusing on a subject, you have to select the manual, then you have you have to select the center, then place your camera anywhere near the object, then select the central part of place it to the center, because there is a grid of 9 columns, 9 rows. And then if you select this object at the center and press this shutter release button halfway, then it then it focuses it. With that focus, what happens is that you'll get to the object under focus, then you can take the photo, and that object will be under focus when you use that mode. So this is how that works in terms of subject tracking. You get to track the subject and so on and so forth. With the settings, they are just normal. Only face priority and manual and center are mostly used while taking photographs. The rest are just in situations when you really need it. Then we have this autofocus mode, where in autofocus you can have AFS, single autofocus, AFF, full autofocus, and a pre-AF pre-focus. So that's only for autofocus mode, and you can have I set it up at pre-autofocus, and it's also the default settings, so you don't need to have a lot of bothering about this one. And now we have quick effects, which we have here. When you take a photograph and go back into playback mode, then these quick effects comes under play. you can select a photograph and add plenty of effects to it, and that's when you really are putting any effort into this camera without using any software, Photoshop or that all that things. Then we have the movie here. In movie options you get a lot of selection modes where I have selected 1080 for 30 frame rates per second, and then you have the rest of the story, say where you can select 1080 by 60i, 720 30p iframe, and then the rest slow motion is also available. HS 44x is available, HS 720 2x is available. And so there are various movie formats, but only format that comes into my use is the top one. And then you have open with HS footage, I always keep it on. Then we have a area of focus mode. In this also you can either have a face priority or you can have a centered. Then we have autofocus mode, just like that, and in here we have only two. We do not have pre area of focus here, so we have just area of focus single AF and area of focus full-time AF. Then we have movie AR. I have set it to off for the main reason because I mostly use my camera on tripod but not on any other situation. So because since I am using my camera on tripod, it is suggested by the guide of the Nikon Coolpix that I keep it off because it does not want any interactions with the motion balance or vibration reduction. With the movie vibration reduction, it does not want any reaction from that, and that is why it is said to keep it off. We also have another option which is really very good, and I always keep it on, and that is why I don't get a lot of noise in my videos, and that is wind noise reduction. You can have it either on or off. It is better to have it on even if you are indoors, because I have seen that it reduces the noise very lot, and that's very useful. And here you can select frame rates, and I have selected 30 fps, and you can select 25 fps. Whatever you like, it is good, but if you are doing it on YouTube, just select 30 fps. The YouTube already destroys it completely. So now we have Wi-Fi here, but we'll go to the Wi-Fi later, because we have to take a smartphone and then explain to you how this one works and how Wi-Fi setup works. So now let's jump right in to this setup of the camera. Then we have at first place the welcome screen. Then we have time zone and date. You get to adjust the time zone and date, and we have monitor settings where you could select the brightness, contrast, and the other stuff. You have print date, with which you can print your date on the photos that you are taking. So I have kept it out because I don't need them, and most of the time I take photos for fun, not family photos. But if I am taking family photos, I will definitely like to use that print data option. Then we have photo VR, and it is photo vibration reduction. You have to use it when you are taking photos with the camera being handheld. If the camera is not being handheld, then you have to turn that off, and because you are using it on tripod, and it interferes with the tripod's stability, so you have to just do that. Then we have motion detection, where it detects the motion of the subject. If it is moving, then it adjusts to that. And then we have area of assist, which does its function. If you can keep it either off and either on. Then we have digital zoom on or off. You see this camera has a 22x optical zoom, and if you keep it turn on, then you can use digital zoom also. But digital zoom is not at all required indoors, because of the fact that you will anyhow be ending up using the optical zoom, which is really too good. Now we have a sound settings. In sound setting, it gives button sound, shutter sound, so you can keep the button sound on, and you can keep the shutter sound on. You can also off if you do not like those sounds. Then you have auto off. This means that if you are using this camera and not toggling anything, then after 1 minute it turns off. And we have format card, which means you can format the card, and then the language selection is there. Then charge by computer is there. Whenever you connect to your computer, the camera charges. So this is advantageous, because you can copy the files, and then you can also charge your computer a long way. Then blink warning, it warns when someone is blinking, and I have turned it off because I don't want those annoying messages coming when I need to take a lot of shots, and it really hinders. So to when if someone blinks, then it says the subject has blinked, you go yes or no, then it's really annoying. And then you have Wi-Fi upload, which means you could directly upload it to the YouTube and other websites from this camera itself. That's one of the coolest feature. Then you have reset all, with which you can reset firmware. There is firmware version, you can update to it. And so this is all this camera has in terms of all the menu. There is another playback menu that is totally different, but here let's talk about the Wi-Fi setup now. In order to do the Wi-Fi setup, you have to have a smartphone. I'll bring that smartphone in. You need to download one software that's called Nikon Mobile Utility. So with that, I'll just put the link of this software in Play Store. Then after downloading that, you have to start it, and you have in this one you have to keep it selected. So now here you have to see that the camera says that here we have an antenna, here we have settings for that as well to synchronize and other various stuffs that's not required. Here we have view photos option, so it either views from the computer, or it either views from the smartphone itself, or it either views from the photographs in this camera. So now we'll head right in and see how to do that. So in order to connect to this one, you have to say connect to smart device, and you have to say click OK. Then it searches for your Wi-Fi device, and here you have to pull this button on, and then you have to switch on the VLAN, turning VLAN on. In this way it recognizes two of the settings, and then you have to see that you click on this one Nikon. It's connected now. So now let's get back to the software. So now the camera is in networking mode. We have the take photos option here. If you click on that take photos option, the flash will get on, and then whatever the camera lens sees, then the software sees also. It gets a little bit so slow, and if the camera's battery and the battery of the smartphones falls down by 30%, then the software does not operate. It will just close down, and the camera also gets shut down. So you can zoom with this one by pressing W and T. You can zoom, and then by clicking on this photo button, then you could take photos, and by hitting the button on this slider, you could select either to view the photos or to take the photos. So here now I am zooming a bit. You could see me zoom it, and then the more you zoom, the barrel also come out, and then you could take the photos, and you just saw the flash coming out. So this is how you can do this. And then you could see the Wi-Fi downloading the files, downloading the photo file that it took in the camera, and here you have the file. So this is how you could use. The range is said to be around 3 meters to 4 meters accordingly. So you could just use it, but I find it unusable because you will definitely have to use your own, and Wi-Fi is only required when you do not want people to know and you want to hide the camera. It does not support movie mode, so that's one of the saddest mode. If it supported movie mode, then it could act as a remote, and then it will be easy to make some videos out. Now we are in the playback mode. Here you could have your setting adjusted, then you could also have here quick effects on your camera. You have to click OK on this photo, and when you click OK, then you can get pop, super vivid, and then painting key, high key. And on this one you could also zoom by clicking on this zoom dial, and you get to zoom the photograph. You just have to, but that comes when you are viewing it, but not when you are in quick effect mode. If you have to toggle that. Now we'll get back to the playback mode, and we'll zoom the photos now. So this is how you could zoom the photo, and then toggle the photo like this. So this is how you could toggle among the photos. And then in the playback mode, you have various other modes. For that you have to press on the menu, and if you press on the menu, you can add voice memo to it. You can have a small picture, then you can rotate the image, protect. So you can also have slide show, then you can have print order, then you have glamour retouch, which what it does is that it adds glamour, that reduce mixed teeth whitening, and then reduce all the shadow stuffs and other. Then you have quick retouch to make the photos look better, and this options only is available when you are in playback mode. Then you have to press the menu button to that to be able to appear, and then you can have sequence display option, then you have favorite picture option. So this is all we have in this camera. The good part is that you get to select the ISO, which not normally other cameras allow you to do. And this is all about this camera. I hope I have already talked pretty well about the Wi-Fi setup, and I have already talked a lot about other settings and other stuff. So if still anything is left, then you could put that in the comment section so that I could answer to that. So thank you very much for watching this one. Just put any question in the comment section.